First tonight, though, the trial against Corrine Brown finishing up day 4, and big developments as the first full day of testimony is wrapping up in the corruption trial against the former Congresswoman.
Brown joined outside the courtroom by the father of Jordan Davis, a high-profile murder victim here in Jacksonville. And this evening, we have live team coverage for you once again. Clark Foraker spending the day inside the courtroom, but we begin with anchor Heather Crawford. Heather.
Anthony, court just wrapped up just a moment ago here at the federal courthouse, and Corrine Brown was just seen leaving the courthouse, walking across the street to get into her car and to leave. The government called several witnesses today. The morning began with testimony continuing from an FBI special agent who really was detailing through a lot of exhibits where money from the bogus charity One Door for Education was going, with the withdrawals from that account and where it was headed. Now, she testified that the former Congresswoman Corrine Brown personally deposited $3,000 from One Door for Education into her personal account. We also heard testimony today from several big names, the government calling the former CEO of CSX, Michael Ward, to the stand. He testified that he donated over the course of several years $35,000 to One Door for Education, money that he thought was going to help students. And he says he found out about the organization and decided to make the donations after then Congresswoman Brown came to his office soliciting contributions from him. We also heard from Tandy Bondi. She is the sister-in-law of Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. She's also a former lobbyist who worked at a firm with the daughter of Corrine Brown, and she was questioned about a $25,000 donation made to One Door for Education from a PAC. And the government is trying to prove its case, trying to prove that Corrine Brown knew exactly how to ask donors for money and knew exactly where that money was going. Now, Clark Foraker continues our team coverage now. Clark was inside the courtroom all day long and has more on this first full day of testimony. Clark?
Yeah, Heather, those were two of what ended up being 6 witnesses called by U.S. attorneys today. Also, Susie Wiles, a political consultant well known across Florida and really who championed Florida for Donald Trump. Hussein Cumber, who works with a transportation company here in Jacksonville. Bob Picerni's a developer from Orlando who knew the Congresswoman well. And then Gasper Lazara, a dentist and orthodontist for many years who now owns a company that sort of runs a number of businesses. All of these people were called because they donated money to One Door for Education. We're not talking about a little bit of cash. We're talking $20,000, $30,000, $35,000 that basically they were asked to give to One Door, told, they all said, and in the witness stand, for educational purposes, sometimes iPads for underprivileged children, sometimes for trips that would be good for educational initiatives. And they say all of that money they thought was going to kids. All of them were asked and testified that if they had known some of that money was going to the Congresswoman, they would never have given it or advised their companies or nonprofits to make donations. That's really the testimony that the government was eager to get to in front of this jury because it's crucial to their case. They're saying that the money went to Congresswoman Brown. Of course, her attorneys say and continue today to blame it on Ronnie Simmons, her chief of staff, asking all of those people, who was sending you the emails? Who were you mailing the checks to? In many cases, the staff was the corresponding parties dealing with the emails and where the checks went, as you might expect for someone as busy as a congressperson. So tomorrow morning testimony continues, more from the government, and we expect more line of this type of questioning where they try to talk to people who made donations and who thought that the money was going to an educational purpose. Heather?
All right, Clark Foraker live outside the federal courthouse. Thank you. And we have a digital reporter dedicated to covering every aspect of this trial who's inside the courtroom through the duration of the trial. So we have in-depth information right now on our website, firstcoastnews.com. We have a gallery of all the key players in this trial, a lot of information there. This trial is expected to last about 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to hear from a lot of witnesses over that time. The 12-member jury hearing a lot of testimony in the coming days, ultimately tasked to decide whether or not she is guilty of these 22 counts she's facing. If she's convicted of all 22 counts, she could be sentenced up to 357 years in prison. So a lot is on the line for the former Congresswoman.